Everybody, we'll get started in just a minute here. Hey, everybody, thanks for your patience with me getting this started today. My name is Tyler, and I'll be hosting today's 101 Pietra business course and website overview. So this webinar is really designed for creators who are new to the Creator Hub. Maybe you just signed up for a Pietra membership. Maybe you're on a free trial. Maybe you've never launched a product before. Great place to get an overview of the primary features available to you. And I'd like to run this webinar as kind of an open office hours session as well. So I believe I've given everybody access to the chat and Q&A. So please don't hesitate to ask questions in either channel, and I will do my best to answer them as we go. If your question is going to be covered in a different section of the webinar, I might just ask that we circle back to it. If anybody here has a specific project they're working on or a product type that they're focused on, I would love if you could share that in the chat. I can provide a couple of helpful tips and tricks to narrowing down on that product type. Let's see. Here we go. Chat should be enabled now. Okay, awesome. Susan, children's rompers and clothing. So since Susan answered first, I'll probably use that as a really good example to share some of the core features that are available to somebody who wants to launch that type of product. And Antonio, it looks like you're starting a luxury fashion line. So with Pietra, you'll have access to a network of factories and suppliers. We have over 1,500 now from around the world who can help you make your product. So we have factories and suppliers who are capable of making anything from something a little bit more off the shelf, print on demand as well, all the way up to luxury and high end. I'll share some more details about this as we go into some supplier listings. But we definitely have suppliers who have worked with some luxury brands before. I just clicked into one of the supplier homepages here, and you can get a good sense of some other designers that they may have worked with in the past. Just take note that with luxury fashion, there's going to be a little bit more customization involved, and that might be a little bit more of an expensive project. But if you have the budget to do it, we definitely have suppliers who can accommodate that. It looks like Charlisa has a vegan hair and body product line, ready to launch new products, and seeing how Pietra can be incorporated into that. So we definitely can answer those questions today. All right, before I jump into these specific questions, again, welcome one more time. I'll do some basic overview of the navigation of the site, the main features that we offer, and then we'll dive into sourcing. That's a really important first step for those of you who are getting started, might have a product idea, is you're going to need to find, number one, a product idea, product design, and then you're going to have to find somebody to make that design or idea for you. And we definitely have tools that can help with that. Okay, so right here, I'm looking at the Pietra Creator Hub homepage. Anytime you want to get back to that, you can just click on this Pietra logo in the upper right corner, or upper left corner, excuse me. And then here on the left, we have our basic menu areas. So sourcing, this is going to be really important for those of you launching products for the first time. Fulfillment. So for those of you who may have inventory already, so Charlisa, if you have inventory that you already sell and you might want to store that inventory with us, you can definitely explore our fulfillment option. This is going to happen a little bit later in the process for most of us. So I'll touch on fulfillment today, but I would encourage folks who are seeking out a fulfillment partner to maybe make a note in the chat here, and I can direct you to some additional resources. We have some fulfillment specific webinars on the website. Storefront. So included in your Pietra membership is access to a very basic website where you can sell items. And this is included, and it can be used for print on demand or for items that you have stored at the Pietra warehouse. We have print on demand here. I'll go back here. Some really powerful marketing tools that can help you monitor discussions happening about your brand online, match with influencers, and monitor trends happening in your corner of the marketplace, as well as potentially connect with brick and mortar stores who can sell your product. We have some very helpful charts and analytics that are included in paid memberships. And then down here, we have our product ideation or product design studio, our education section with a lot of self-service resources, the Copilot, which I would encourage all beginners to check out. This is in basically an AI agent guide who's going to walk you through some of these main milestones to complete when you're getting started. And then, of course, we have our rewards points, which can be used toward future purchases, a little bit of account maintenance down here. If anybody is considering which plan to use right now, you can go up and select change my plan here. We offer two main plans right now. The Essentials plan is going to be kind of our entry-level plan, a little bit more of a self-service option with access to chat and email support, limited access to the marketing tools. So you'll hit a cap on the number of traffic that you can monitor there, as well as the number of AI generative content you can create. And then our business plan is really going to be our full access plan used by most small businesses with unlimited access to our marketing tools, reduced fulfillment fees, and then access to phone calls with Pietra experts like myself. I would encourage folks to check out and compare these two plans and really select one that's best for you. Keep in mind that we offer 25% discount if you purchase a quarterly membership, and then a 50% discount if you purchase an annual membership. Okay. Okay. Great. So I'm going to return back to Susan's idea here, children's romper clothing. And, Susan, if she's interested in launching this clothing line, is going to have to first have a product idea. And then secondly, she's going to have to find a supplier to make these items from and source these items from, and likely order a sample and then eventually a production run. Okay. So there are a couple of starting points that Susan could be starting from here. It's possible, for example, that Susan may just have a general idea of what this product might look like. And if that's the case, I suggest checking out our product ideation studio. And in this area, we've actually created a number of templates that can be used as base products to either customize or share with our supplier network to give them an idea of the product that you want to make. For example, baby clothing, a number of different options here. So some of these are based on actual images in our suppliers' catalogs. Some of them are AI generated images that can be used as base products to share with a supplier and eventually discuss whether it's feasible to have a production run of this item made. So I know the holidays are just past us. Maybe let's plan ahead for next year. This children's pajama set could be a great example. And by selecting this product template, we already pull in some key specifications that can be used here to generate what will become a design image or reference image that you can share with the supplier and discuss whether that product is something that they can have made. Okay, so let's just say I am really, for whatever reason, wanting this to be striped pattern. Really, the sky is the limit. And let's say I don't want necessarily a Christmas theme. Maybe I'll say a reindeer Christmas theme instead. So this is where you can kind of let your creativity run. And using our AI generative studio here, you can generate some pretty cool images that will be shared with the supplier network for discussion and eventual production. And while this is thinking here, this is not isolated to only clothing. This will definitely work for hair and beauty products. It definitely will work for home goods, really across all of our merchandise categories here. Okay. So lots of information on this screen, and I'll highlight a couple of pieces of information before moving forward and sharing some other approaches you can take to getting a product design. So here, our design studio has suggested a couple of base designs based on my prompts here. And I can even, select on one of these and refine it further and annotate it and add some more variations, add measurements if I want, really anything that might be helpful to inform our supplier of our product specifications. And you can get as specific and detailed as you want with these. Okay, so you might want to mark this up a little bit, add some notes, add what's important. Maybe here on the cuff, you want this to be, we'll just say full fur lined. Really, whatever your design vision is, you can communicate this here. And then from here, we've actually suggested a couple of children's clothing suppliers who we think could be a good fit for your project based on the AI prompt, based on past projects they've worked on. So this is a pretty cool and powerful tool. And if I wanted to reach out to BB Happy, this is a supplier who we've worked with quite a bit, basically pre-fills this form out for you, populates a message, and then sends them a message basically saying that you are ready to launch a project with them. And now we've kind of sent ourselves over to the sourcing inbox here, which is where all of your supplier chats will live. Okay. So I covered quite a bit of ground there on product design, but just to summarize and ground ourselves one more time, you can use the product ideation studio to use templates as a starting point to create your own creations here. And all of these will auto-save. You can base your product on a product template across merchandise categories and customize it. You can even start with a sketch, or if you wanted to start with a reference image and upload that, the design studio will ingest that and give you plenty of options to work with to eventually share with suppliers. Okay. Charlisa asked a question about products being manufactured in-house. Are you able to find raw materials amongst suppliers? That's a great question. It really depends on what it is you're formulating. We definitely work with a number of beauty suppliers and like skincare suppliers. I'm not sure how able they are to share raw materials, but if you wanted to do something like that, I would direct you to the sourcing section of the website here. And I would just encourage you to browse among the suppliers. I'll go into this in a little bit more detail before I touch on one other thing when it comes to product design. And that thing is that we have a number of designers who actually list themselves as freelancers on our website as well. So if you were looking for a little bit of additional help getting started, whether that is help with design, help with making a tech pack, this could really apply to your luxury fashion clothing line, Antonio, if you needed some help making a tech pack. Logo design, packaging designers, business consultants, those are all going to be found here. Okay, so if you wanted to go the design route independently, I would encourage you to use the design studio, or you might come in with a tech pack already. If you were looking for a little bit of help, I would encourage you to go to the sourcing homepage and then check on freelancers and agencies. Okay. Similarly, we have website developers, including Shopify site developers. Everybody here who's going to want to launch an e-commerce business will need a website at some point, whether that's a Shopify site or a different host or the Pietra website. That's a really important to do that you should accomplish at some point, before you launch this product. Okay. And then Susan, I'm going to circle back to this question about fulfillment. That's a good question. And the short answer is yes, we can still use that supplier, even if they're not listed on Pietra. We can still work with you for fulfillment. Great question. We'll circle back in just a minute here. Okay. So we're now to the point where we have an idea and a design, and we have generated a design either in the product design studio, or we have one coming in, or our freelancer has helped us create a product design. The next step here is going to be sourcing your product. Okay, so now I'm in the sourcing page and very easily navigated from the creator homepage to sourcing. And in this menu, we're going to have our custom project requests, which I'll go into a little bit further in a minute, our inbox that hosts all of our supplier chats, any invoices that get generated by your suppliers to be paid on the Pietra platform, any completed orders. You can favorite your suppliers, and you can favorite items as well here. Okay. So if anybody is really new to finding a supplier and you might not quite know what you're looking for yet, I think we've made it kind of fun to browse through the supplier network. And you can think of these listings here as kind of a mini Facebook or social media site that allows suppliers to create their own profile pages and supplier listing pages where they share a little bit about themselves, where they're located, what their capabilities are, what their pricing starts at. They often share some photos from their catalog. And I would encourage everybody to just carve out, an hour, maybe 90 minutes to browse through this in the merchandise category they want to work in, and see if any suppliers speak to you. And anytime you want to start up a conversation with them, you can click chat with the supplier from their supplier homepage here. Okay. So right now I'm on lifesporttee.com. It looks like they make some clothing, including children's clothing. They share a little bit more about who they are as a company. They're based in China. About 55% of our suppliers are based in China. It definitely is a central manufacturing hub, but we have suppliers in the United States and Latin America and Europe as well as Southeast Asia. And then this supplier has also shared some past projects. So these suppliers are definitely legitimate, and they sometimes work with household brands. So you can see that they have done work for Lululemon, Ralph Lauren, definitely a higher end brand, yoga wear projects, and then Gymshark as well. So take a look at that. These reviews are here as well, and then they list part of their catalog. Okay, so as you're browsing through the catalog, I would simply use this as a starting point. They oftentimes don't show their whole catalog, and just because you don't see the exact item here does not mean they can't make something for you. A lot of times they'll use more templatized designs or more sample type items in this part of the website, but that does not mean their capabilities are not well beyond this. And I would encourage everybody who's having a discussion with a supplier about making a product to discuss that project in detail, especially if certain customizations are important to you. And all of that discussion should happen in the supplier chat. Okay. Okay, so browsing the supplier network is one approach to finding a supplier. If we wanted to go a slightly different direction, we could go back to the sourcing page, and rather than browsing through the supplier network, we could actually create a custom project request. And in this case, focusing on my product, just note we also have packaging suppliers out there. So anybody who is interested in sourcing custom poly mailers, creating custom boxes, any packaging ideas you have in mind, we definitely can help with that. And you can also submit a custom project if you want to connect with a freelancer or an agency for some creative work or consulting work. Okay, create custom product. So with this, we basically ask you to fill out a form listing your product category, sticking with the baby and toddler products example. You describe your project, your estimated budget, any reference products that you might want to share, any reference photos, we allow you to upload those. And then you select, when it comes to customization, whether you want something that's readily available with slight customizations. So this is going to be lower cost, lower MOQs, minimum order quantities, less customization though, compared to something completely custom that looks exactly, like what you're describing. Okay, so again, definitely within our supplier network's set of capabilities, but just know you might be required to order, a higher MOQ for them to make that custom garment for you, and it might end up being more expensive on a per item basis. Really just a matter of what your budget is, what your specific project is. Okay. So then if you submit that form, what it's going to do is push your project idea out to a number of suppliers at once. And then if that supplier thinks they can do a good job at making your project, they'll respond to you, and that response will appear in your inbox here. Okay. And in this inbox, this is where you would really discuss all of the details, all of the sampling requirements. If you wanted to request a video conference with them, you could definitely do that here. And you can also, get your updates by text message. Your full discussion should happen in here. And we always encourage creators to keep these conversations within Pietra. That will allow us to go in if we ever needed to review any communications. We can help you out there. If anything's taken off the platform, that really limits our ability to review those communications. Okay. Excellent. And lots of little help from our AI agent in the lower right corner, really just designed to be a helpful resource to you down there. Okay, I'll pause. Any questions on sourcing before I move forward to touching on print on demand quickly? Okay, great. Moving on. All right, so if anybody is coming in and maybe, just running a small project to start, or you might have a limited budget, or you're just testing things out and you want to see what a single unit of a product looks like. Rather than going the sampling route, we have a print on demand studio as well. And with this print on demand studio, you're basically provided a list of base products. I think one of them might be a baby onesie that can definitely be customized in certain ways. You're a little bit more limited in terms of what can be customized. But with this option, you just select the appropriate base product, and then you upload your logo design. Depending on the product, it'll give you a couple of different options for customizing the item. You'll submit that, and then you'll pay for that item at checkout, okay? So this can be helpful to you if you want to order a sample for yourself, but also if you wanted to create a print-on-demand shop, we actually make that super easy for you with your Pietra website, okay? So you can see this sample smiley face hoodie I've created. So this is actually an item that you can make available from your print-on-demand store, and then you will not purchase the item until one of your customers order it. All of the billing and the charging of that will happen through this checkout flow here. Pretty simple, and then when your customer orders that item, they'll pay for it, and we'll take care of creating the item, and then we'll ship it directly to your customer. So print on demand, I think the best option for anybody who is really just starting out, wants to keep things really low cost, and might not have a full budget to run a production run and to work with us as a fulfillment customer. I'll also take a minute to note that Pietra is not a dropshipping company. Dropshipping can be a word that's thrown around here and there, but to me, dropshipping means something really specific, which is that the factory that's making your items is going to ship those items to your end customer. That's not the way Pietra works for sourcing and fulfillment. We are actually a full service 3PL, third party logistics company. So we operate a temperature controlled warehouse, and we will store all of your items for you and take care of all of your order fulfillment. I'll touch on that in just a minute here. Which takes me to Susan's question, where she asks, what happens if I already have a supplier inventory? They made a sample romper. The supplier is not on Pietra, but I am interested in fulfillment with Pietra. So would they send the inventory of the rompers to you, and then you link to my Shopify to ship out, is the question. And Susan, that is exactly right. So if you wanted to use Pietra as your fulfillment partner, but the supplier happened to be not listed on Pietra, we can definitely accommodate that. And this will take us to the fulfillment section. Okay. So many of our creators and brands that we work with do use Pietra suppliers for their production if they use this for fulfillment, but some of them have external suppliers, and that is just fine. Susan, if you wanted to work with us for fulfillment from that external supplier, and you decided to move forward and order the production run of rompers, and they need a destination address, all you would do is click ship items to Pietra US Fulfillment Center. If they've shipped these items to you first, you would just complete this form and basically provide us an itemized listing of everything that'll be sent to us. If they were shipping directly to us, you have an option of connecting your supplier to Pietra, and then they would take care of this step for you. That step is optional, but it does offload a little bit of operational work onto that supplier. And then they would basically become part of the Pietra network. And you and the supplier are given the option of whether you want them to be publicly listed as well. Okay. Okay, so fulfillment. Now, this is the point in your project or during the launch of your business where you have designed your product or products, you have sourced them and sampled them, and then you have found a supplier who you've decided to move forward making a production run with. If you were working with Pietra, they would generate an invoice for you here in the sourcing section. And when you pay that invoice, you will be given the option to either send the items to Pietra, or you can send them to a different address of your choice. If you send them to Pietra, you'll begin onboarding as our fulfillment customer, which basically unlocks a couple of additional features from Pietra. So we'll manage all of your item storage for you. We'll manage all of your order fulfillment for you. We can complete kitting services for you. So if, for example, you decided to order the baby romper, and then you had a special box that you wanted the baby romper to go in, and you source that from Pietra as well, we can complete kitting services for you, which is basically light assembly. We can set up all of your fulfillment rules. We can help you generate shipping labels. So all of these features become unlocked to you once you send inventory to Pietra. And if anybody has questions about the fees for shipping orders or storing your items, those are all going to be listed in our rate card here. We're just wrapping up our 2024 fiscal year at our fulfillment center. But this is a comprehensive listing of our fees. If you're on the Essentials plan, you're going to be under this launch listing of fees. So $1.50 per order is what we're going to charge you per order. If you're on the business plan, we're going to charge you $1.15 per order. Antonio has a question here. Is there a fulfillment by order fee? Yes, so that's exactly what I just covered. And $1.50 per order if you're on the Essentials plan. And that is for anywhere from one item all the way up to 20 items, okay? So over 20 items, you're going to be under wholesale order fulfillment billing, which is $5 per order plus 25 cents per unit. Some additional fees to highlight here. Just like any other 3PL, we're going to charge you a variable rate to ship your items. And that's going to vary depending on the shipping zone we're sending to and the weight of the package that we're going to be shipping. And basically what will happen is we're going to charge you this amount, and how much you charge your customer or whether you want to offer free shipping is going to be up to you. And you'll adjust those rates in your Shopify store. Okay, on that note, anybody who joins us for fulfillment, I would suggest launch a Shopify store. We have a full integration with Shopify. So if you decide to send inventory to us, we'll integrate with your Shopify site, and then any orders that come through Shopify will automatically be fulfilled by us. We also have integrations with Wix and WooCommerce, but I would say Shopify is definitely the best one. And that gives you access to our returns feature as well. So any returns we can automatically handle for you too. And Shopify also provides you, access to some helpful marketing tools that I'm going to touch on with our last 10 minutes here. So Antonio asked a question about how long is shipping. So we actually have a couple of different rate cards, they're called, which are going to offer different shipping timelines. So our US economy shipping timeline is typically 3 to 8 business days. Our economy plus is going to be 2 to 5 business days after fulfillment. And then the standard is going to be 2 to 3 business days after fulfillment. Okay. Then we have expedited shipping. This is shipped via second day air, and we can ship internationally as well. Obviously, the faster the shipping timeline, the higher the cost per order is going to be to ship that order. Great. Okay. All right. These sections here are a little bit beyond the scope of this intro discussion, but just know that if you onboard with our fulfillment center and send us inventory, there's a whole process here where we'll identify you as an onboarding customer. We'll set you up with an onboarding call. You'll receive some assistance from our team to integrate your Shopify, and we'll ensure all of your items are received and shelved properly. So that process is kind of unique to fulfillment customers, but just know that we definitely have a process in place to ensure that your onboarding goes smoothly. Okay, moving on from fulfillment. So I want to make sure that everybody on this webinar knows they have access to some really cool and exciting and powerful AI tools if you have a paid membership, okay? And that's going to include our Pietra Pulse tool here, as well as our AI Content Studio. And all you need to do to get started with AI Content Studio is enter your Shopify URL, and that'll allow you to create user-generated content using AI that can help you to create social media assets to share on your Instagram sites. If you wanted to generate AI photos to put on your website, we can help with all of that, and you'll get a limited number of generations with the Essentials plan and an unlimited number with the business plan. So definitely register for the AI photo shoot. Oh, great. So Charlisa says you currently have a Shopify site and you do self-fulfillment. I'm happy to hear that it currently integrates with my existing site. Yes, that's great to hear as well. And Charlisa, we find this to be pretty common where sometimes small businesses will start out with self-fulfillment and they'll find that managing all the order fulfillment, out of your spare bedroom or at home can become a little bit operationally intensive or time consuming. So that's definitely a service that we offer. We'll just take care of all of that for you. So you won't have to do your own order fulfillment anymore. Okay, so touching on Pulse. Now, Pulse is, I would say, our most exciting and frequently updating marketing tool that we have. And basically what Pietra Pulse allows you to do after you submit your website to the tool is it allows you to keep tabs on and track any conversations that are happening about your brand, competitors' brands, and even find influencers who might be potential partners for you to help market your brand. Okay. So all these buttons here are clickable, and this can also be helpful if you want to know what your customers may be saying about you online. And basically what Pietra Pulse does is it tracks conversations happening on Reddit, on Instagram, and on TikTok, and it reports back to you any mentions of your brand. So you can either respond to those customers, engage with them, or send a message back to them, or even create a video, cheering them on for endorsing your product. Okay, so this is a tool that we're investing really heavily in. It is an AI generative tool. And I would encourage everybody to just take the 2 to 3 minutes it takes to set this up and just have fun with it and explore, because it is included in your membership. And it is a really powerful, unique tool to help you track what is going on in your corner of the marketplace and with your customers and your competitors. Okay. Similarly, Pulse suggests potential influencers who you can reach out with. And a lot of times, and this is a pretty popular brand I entered for the demo, but if you get specific about this, it will start finding influencers who have fewer followers. And those influencers are often more likely to partner with brands, and they're looking for opportunities to connect and create content. And basically what we do is we allow you to introduce yourself and reach out to them and start a discussion about a partnership. Okay. And lastly, Pulse will even identify, based on the content of your website, potential customer bases for you, and it'll help you generate, some ideas for social media content generation. Really, the idea here is to get your creative juices going and to inspire you to create some social media content that your audience can see, and to get and maintain their attention. Okay. I would say the key action item here is signing up for Pulse. And just like we did with the sourcing section of the website with browsing the sourcing pages, sign up for Pulse and enter your information, track the hashtags you want to track, and just have some fun with it. And this is something that we're updating on a weekly basis. And we're already getting a ton of positive feedback on it. So I would encourage everybody to just take those couple of minutes to sign up. Okay, excellent. I won't touch on analytics or financing discounts in this webinar. It's a little bit beyond the scope of what we're discussing today. That said, we do have a couple more marketing tools here included in your membership. So we have the ability to collect emails for you and help build an email distribution list. We call this audience capture. So any visitors to your website, you can actually grab their email addresses and begin marketing to them. And we also have this Retail Connect tool here, which allows you to locate brick and mortar stores who could be good partners for you to sell wholesale orders to them so they can sell your items in their stores. Okay. But all that said, I know that a lot of you are likely just getting started here. And I would say if you are just getting started or you haven't made a purchase on the Pietra site yet from the sourcing marketplace, would be to focus on the product ideation tool here and explore some designs, find some suppliers that you are excited about in the sourcing section. And then lastly, to sign up for Pulse to get a handle on what is happening in your little corner of the market. Okay. Excellent. Well, I really appreciate everybody's time today. We do have 1 or 2 more minutes left. If anybody has a final question, I'm happy to hang on and answer those for you. Otherwise, thanks so much and have a great day.